Welcome to Mecha Facts episode 11. In today's episode is the XM-07 Vigna Ghina, a prototype commander-use high-mobility mobile suit from the Universal Century timeline of the Gundam series. This episode was created to coincide with the release of the Reborn100 Vigna Ghina being released this June of 2018. The Vigna Ghina made its first appearance and was heavily featured in the TV series turned movie Suit Gundam F91. Following the film's release, the Vigna Ghina would make another animated appearance in Gundam Build Fighters. The original mech designer of the Vigna Ghina is Kunio Okurata. Next is the Vigna Ghina's specifications. Its overall height is at 15.8 meters, base weight at 8.9 tons, full weight at 22.5 tons, powered by a Minovsky ultra-compact fusion reactor. Its armor is a titanium alloy ceramic composite armor, crewed by one pilot, and a panoramic monitor linear seat cockpit in the torso. It was developed from the XM-06 Dagi Iris, and its first deployment date was around early UC-0123 and last seen deployed in late UC-123. Its manufacturer is the Bush Concern's Aerodynamics Division, and is operated by the Crossborn Vanguard and later on the Earth Federation Forces. The only known pilot of the Vigna Ghina is Bera Rona, or better known as Cecily Fairchild. Next is the Vigna Ghina's armaments and equipment. First is the beam shield. The Vigna Ghina is equipped with one beam shield generator, which is mounted on its left arm. The beam shield generator is a new protective device used by the mobile suits of the UC-0120 era. Thanks to their increased generator output, the scaled-down mobile suits of this era can use beam technology for defensive purposes. Unlike an I-field generator, which is only effective against beam attacks, the beam shield can block both beam and projectile weapons. Next are the beam sabers. The Vigna Ghina is equipped with two beam sabers, which are stored in a recharge rack on its body. The beam sabers are a highly effective weapon where it emits a blade of plasma contained by an I-field that can cut through any physical armor. Next is the beam rifle. The Vigna Ghina's beam rifle is a handheld beam weapon capable of firing concentrated megaparticles, where the attacks from the beam rifle can damage any ordinary armor that hasn't been treated with an anti-beam countermeasure. However, the particle beams of the beam rifle can be blocked by an I-field or a beam shield. Next is the beam launcher. The Vigna Ghina's beam launcher is an optional weapon that acts like a beam rifle, but on a larger scale. The beam launcher is a new heavy particle weapon developed by the Earth Federation Forces, where it uses technology based on the F91 Gundam's variable speed beam rifle. By selecting higher particle speeds, the beam launcher fires a narrow beam that has greater range and penetrating power, or by selecting a slower particle speed, the beam launcher fires a wider beam that has a short range but can cause more raw damage. Next is the beam flag emitter. The Vigna Ghina is equipped with one beam flag emitter, which is a piece of technology that uses similar principles of a beam saber that uses an I-field to generate a large beam shaped into a symbol. The beam flag is one of the defining features of the Crossborn Vanguard, where it acts as a signal, allowing squad units to quickly identify how they should form up in formation, and is often designated to mobile suit commanders. And the last piece of equipment for the Vigna Ghina is the fin nozzles. The fin nozzles are mounted on the Vigna Ghina's backpack, and these nozzles were a development of shelf nozzle technology. The fin nozzles uses the concept of adjustable thrusters to increase the mobile suit's overall agility, which is more flexible and having greater thrust. Last is the Vigna Ghina's history and lore. The Vigna Ghina was a prototype mobile suit created by the Crossborn Vanguard for use by commanders and to succeed the Burger series of mobile suits. The Vigna Ghina has a more powerful reactor than the average mobile suit, which allows for more power for its sensors, thrusters, and weapons. Only one unit was known to have existed, which was given to Bera Rona, aka Cecily Fairchild, who was the official ruler of Cosmo Babylonia. After training with the machine, Bera used the Vigna Ghina to join the mobile suit teams that invaded the colony of Frontier 1. Although she was the official ruler and was piloting a commander-type mobile suit, Bera was flying second to her mobile suit instructor, Zabine Sharu, as this invasion was intended that her presence on the battlefield would not be as a combatant, but rather as a source of morale for the Crossborn Vanguard, as well as a means for her to gain an understanding of war. During Bera's first sortie, she used the Vigna Ghina to battle against the Gundam F91 until she realized that the pilot was her friend and love interest, Seabuk Arno. Seabuk convinced Bera to leave the Crossborn Vanguard and to join him with the Federation, and she continued to use the Vigna Ghina to fight alongside Seabuk and the F91. To symbolize her rejection of the Crossborn Vanguard, Bera would paint over the Crossborn emblem on the Vigna Ghina's forehead. In the next battle, the Vigna Ghina and the F91 would started to fight the bug automated weapons that were released to wipe out all resistance inside Frontier 1. Following the mop-up of the bugs, the Vigna Ghina and the F91 would engage in a climactic battle against the Rafflesia, piloted by Bera's father, Iron Mask. The Vigna Ghina would suffer heavy damage in the battle, and after a father-daughter confrontation, Bera would get thrown out into space by Iron Mask, but not before Bera telepathically telling Seabook to use the Vigna Ghina to defeat him. Seabook complied and destroyed the Vigna Ghina with the F91's beam launcher, where the resulting explosion acted as a distraction, allowing Seabook to destroy the Rafflesia. And that is all, everyone. Thanks for watching this episode of Mecha Facts on the XM-07 Vigna Ghina. If you're not a fan and or a subscriber yet, please hit that subscribe button below and hit that notification bell for future episodes of Mecha Facts. Please stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you guys next time.